Review the Light. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Olight S30R Baton, but quickly, if you haven't yet, go ahead and click this link right up here to subscribe to my YouTube channel and keep up to date on the latest videos. This one right up here to follow me on Facebook, and if at the end of the review you want more details, go ahead and click the link in the description, and that will take you to the full review where I'll have things like beam shots, runtime graphs, a spectral analysis, and all that great stuff, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. Okay, so the S30R is the newest rechargeable baton light by Olight. It comes released shortly after their S10R, S15R, and S20R, and this is the biggest of the set of four now. So you can see we've got the specifications here on the box. I won't go into a lot of detail on that to save time. You can pause it if you want to check those out, or check out the full review to just read through everything. So we're going to go and open up the box. This is kind of Olight's standard packaging for their smaller lights now, these kind of plastic see-through boxes, which is kind of fun. So in the top we have a little flyer with some advertisements for other Olights. We have this little baggie with a couple spare O-rings, and we have the instruction manual. And then you pull the light out. We'll set it aside for now. And in the bottom, this little black box contains the charging accessories. So the neat thing about these R Baton series is they all come with a charging dock. I'll go ahead and take that out now. Here you can see this is what the charging dock looks like. So it also the charging dock comes with this little sticky piece that you can put on the bottom so that you can attach the dock to some sort of surface if you want it to be sideways or upside down or something, or just don't want it to slip around wherever you've got it. You can do that. And then the little micro USB charging cable that connects the dock to whatever you're going to charge from. So it's important to note it comes with the dock and the cable, but it doesn't come with anything to plug the cable into. So you can plug this into like your computer or something, but if you want to say plug it into a wall outlet or a car, you'll need another separate adapter for that. And most people have a lot of those around already, but it is worth noting. And then here's little instructions on how to put that little sticky plastic piece on the bottom of your dock. So that's that. Now we'll take a look at the light itself. Here you can see it is, if you compare it to some of the others in the Baton series, this is the largest one. It runs off of a single 18650. So does the S20R, but this one's a little bit larger, and it has a higher maximum output. So this goes up to about 1,000 lumens, it claims. I'll test that in the full review. You can see the results of my test after I do that. But right away I'm noticing that this one is chunkier than the S20R, so I'm guessing that that's so it has better more mass to store the heat that's output from the LED. It's got these heat dissipation fins here, but yeah, I'm guessing that the extra mass and size is mostly just to take care of the extra heat that's going to be generated by going up to the higher outputs and hopefully holding that for a longer time. So it uses the Cree XML2 emitter. You can see that in there. If you're familiar with emitters, that's the most current high brightness, high output emitter. It's sort of got a floody style to it. And that combined with a small reflector here means that this is going to be kind of a floody light. It is a smooth reflector, as you can see. So there's also a little blue O-ring in there, and I've noticed with the others that O-ring glows in the dark. So we'll test that out when we take it outside later. I mentioned the heat dissipation fins. Those are good. They increase the surface area, so light can move away from the flashlight into, or excuse me, heat can move out of the flashlight and into the air around it. That's pretty important for high output lights. Got a little bit of a flat sections here to add some grip. This is the switch. It doesn't have a tail switch, just a side switch. If this is like the others in the series, that little light under there lights up red at certain times, and I'll check that out in the full review. Stainless steel bezel around that, and also in some of the previous S10, or some of the previous Baton models, the S whatevers, all of them, the switch kind of protruded a little bit. With these ones, you can see it's pretty flat compared to the body. It does protrude a little bit, but this bezel, little stainless steel bezel around it, means that it's pretty unlikely to get pushed accidentally in your pocket or something. A lot less likely than some of the previous versions. So here we've got the model number there. The kind of square knurling pattern that Olight uses on most of their lights is on the body and on a little bit on the tail. We've got a removable clip here. You can just pull that on and off. It's got a decent amount of force that it takes to pull off, so it's unlikely it'll come off on its own very often. But you can do it without any tools. You can just pull it off whenever you like. Here at the base, this is the charging section of the tail. So this is what is going to connect to the charging dock, and there's a magnetic connection between them there. So the magnet is in the tail of the light, so it's going to also stick to other metal things as well. With some of the smaller models, you could like stick this on the side of a fridge or a metal pipe or something and it would stay there. I'm guessing that this one is going to be able to stick to something like this, upside down. Yeah. But if you try and have it go sideways, the mass of the light is just going to be too much, I'm guessing. So unless you have some other magnet to stick it to, it's not going to be able to stick sideways like some of the others. But it could hang upside down if that's what you like. And obviously it'll stand straight up just fine and be resistant to being knocked over because of the magnet. So that's nice. So let's see. Let's go ahead and open it up. Quite a few turns to get that tail cap off. It looks like the tail just opens at that one spot. Taking a close look at the threads here, they've been pre-lubricated, maybe a little bit more lubrication than is necessary. I'll probably wipe that off later because I've kind of made a mess of it. But it's nice to see they're pre-lubricated threads. They're square cut and then anodized. Those threads are going to hold up a long time. That's really high quality work there. You can see the spring in the tail cap is going to make connection with the negative battery terminal. Back here, it comes with a battery, which is great. A light that comes with the battery, the charging for it, and everything that's a great bonus. So it's good to see. It's an Olight 18650 size battery. You can put other lithium-ion 18650 batteries in there, and it'll be all right. This is a 3400 milliamp hour one, which is a great high capacity. Just if you want to replace this battery with a different one, just make sure you understand what you're doing with those. If you put two CR123 batteries in here, or 16340 batteries, I haven't checked the specifications to see. Let me look really quick. See if it says that on the box. I'll have to check and put in my full review if it can accept other sorts of batteries to run off of, but 18650 is the only one that's going to charge. So if you do take the battery out, there's a little holographic sticker in there. I'm not sure if you can see that really well, but that indicates the positive end should go down. And then down in the bottom of that, there is another spring to make connection with the positive terminal. So that's nice. You can see the springs there, by the way. That pushes itself back out. That means it's going to protect the internals of the light and also protect the battery in the event of you dropping it or some sort of impact. So that's nice. So one more thing before we turn it on, we'll do the charging. I haven't tested this battery to see what level it came at, but my other of these SR's Baton series all came at about 3.6, 3.7 volts, which is kind of a medium charge, which is pretty ideal for lithium ions to be stored at. So that was good to see that that's where they had their batteries at. So when I plug it in, you can see it's just this little light here is just blinking red. That just indicates that it's plugged in but not charging anything. So when I set the light on top, you can see that goes to a solid red. That means it's charging, and I'll test its function long term. But if the way it should work is when you put a fully charged battery in there, or when it finishes charging, that should turn green to let you know that it's done charging. So that's the operation of the base. So when you turn the light on, just click on the side switch. Like I said before, the side switch is the only thing that controls it. So here I've turned it on, and you can see that the interface is all done by this one single switch. So if you do a single click, it takes it to whatever mode you had used last. If you do a double click, it takes you straight to the turbo mode. So there's turbo. And if you do a triple click, it takes you to the strobe. So a single click is always just going to turn it on and off in whatever mode you used last. If it's already on, then still the single click will turn it off, or the double click will still take you straight to turbo. So that's nice. And also if it's on, the triple click will take you to strobe. So whether it's on or off, the double click always takes you to turbo, triple always takes you to strobe, single click just turns it on or off. So that's a nice feature. When it is off, if you hold down on the switch, then it comes on. Looks like I did it too long there. So when it's off, if you hold on the switch for a second, it turns on in the moonlight mode. So this is the dimmest output here. And when it's already on, if you hold down on the switch, it cycles through the brightness modes. And you'll notice right now it's just cycling through the three modes, low, medium, and high. Or I guess they might call that a high, medium, turbo. I haven't seen what they've chosen to call that. So you can see it's just cycling through the yeah. Let's look at. I'm looking at the box. It looks like that's the low, medium, and high modes. So when you cycle it through, but just by holding the switch, it just cycles through low, medium, and high. So there's 5 modes total, but it just cycles through 3 when you're holding this switch. So to get to the moonlight mode from off, you hold down on the switch and it comes on in moonlight. And that's the only way to access the moonlight mode. The only way to access the turbo mode is to give it a double click, whether it's on or off, and then the turbo turns on. If you're holding down on the switch, it just cycles through low, medium, and high. So yeah, just to say that again, low, medium, and high, the 3 middle modes are the ones that are accessible by holding down on the switch when it's already on. To get to moonlight, you have to turn it off and then hold down on the button for about a second. And then to get to turbo, whether it's on or off, you double click. And that's how you get to the highest and the lowest mode. So that's that. And also one more feature, when it's off, if you hold down, it comes on in moonlight. If you keep holding down, the moonlight turns off and it's in lockout mode. So now, even if you click it, say it's in your pocket or a bag or something, it's not going to turn on until you hold down on the switch for about another 2 seconds. Then it'll turn back on in the moonlight mode. So that's the operation of it. So this is the Olight S30R Baton, and if you stick around for just a second, we'll take it outside and give it a shot in the dark. Alright, here we've got the Olight S30R Baton here in the backyard. We'll go ahead and fire it up and see how it does. So there I just held down on the button for a second and entered straight into the lowest mode. You can see it's pretty dim. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up on your screen or not, probably depends on your monitor settings, but I can see the spot of the beam on the garage, but not much else. If I hold down the button for another second, here we are in the regular low mode. So this is now one of the 3 main modes that you can access normally. Here it is, still the spots are very visible now. I can see with my eyes the spill goes to about there. It's hard to see on the camera, but I can see it with my eyes, the edge of the spill region. Hold down it again. Here we have the medium mode. You see it's brighter. And there's the high mode. Obviously a very bright spot. There you can see the spill really well defined. The color that you see on the screen is pretty accurate. Maybe just a little accentuated from what I see, but the middle of the beam is pretty pure white. A little bit of a greenish ring around the edge, and a little purplish at the very edge of the spill. So, pretty standard beam pattern. And there's that. So then, those are the, if you remember, it just goes through these 3 regular modes as you hold the button down, which I'm doing right now. So again, to get to the moonlight, I had to hold it down for a second, and then that gets me to the moonlight. Then to get to the turbo, I do a double click, and here's the highest mode, right there. Then I believe another 2 clicks. There, that's the 3 clicks, there we go, to get the strobe. And that's what the strobe looks like. So with the highest output, I'll just pan around a little bit here so you can see some of what's going on. Some of the trees and everything. I can see that tree pretty well with my eyes. It's obviously not reflecting as much light right now as it would if it had the leaves still on it, but you can see the tree up there. Alright, so, and then again when you turn it off, see the glow-in-the-dark O-ring there in the head, which is a nice feature. Not super bright, but just kind of a fun little thing. So this has been the Olight SR30. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you click the link here in the top right to follow me on YouTube, over here to follow me on Facebook, and if you have any questions, I'll be putting the full review in a link in the description below. Thanks, and have a great day.